Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to kind of successfully shift your career to become a developer. In this session, I'm going to explore and talk about my journey of everything that I went through and kind of put some lesson learned and stuff that I have learned from how this journey is actually. This is the agenda that we're going to have today. So first, we're going to start with an icebreaker activity to kind of get to know each other here. And then we're going to talk about software development. And then I'm going to talk about why software development, why should you join this tech industry, what's the positive things about it. And then I'm going to dig deeper into the journey of becoming a developer, how it is and how it's going to happen. If you have ever seen, there's this kind of teacher called David J. Malan. He works at Harvard and he has this set of videos where he talks about computer science, and he kind of like shortens the definition into problem solving. I really like this approach to looking at software development or looking at engineering, because when we think about it, problem solving is something that we actually do all the time. It's something that we already, if you think about it, even kids, when they are growing up and developing, they do problem solving all the time. Having this approach in mind when you think about software development is very kind of something that makes it very easy for you to come up across this field that is a bit new for some people if they are shifting their career. So I always like to keep this definition in mind. It's all about problem solving. Having this in mind when you are approaching anything, you're trying to fix a code or trying to do anything, really makes things easier. So I also wanted to kind of remind you of this and keep it as a highlight at the beginning. Always it's about problem solving. The other thing I wanted to discuss today is about why software development. So again, as I said, you already know problem solving skills. So if you're shifting your career from something other than software development and you're coming to this field, you already have a lot of the skills that you need, which is the way of thinking, the way to approach the problem, which is something that we learn as humans growing up in life, which is very interesting. And that makes things a lot easier. The second thing is that you can really get creative with code. So when you think about it, when you are in programming in general, you can have an idea and build a project. Okay, let me take you for another example. For example, like architecture. So I was an architect before. If I want to make a building right now, imagine how much resources, how much economy, how much money, how much materials do I need to make one building alive. But when it comes to coding, you can have an idea and you can build the code. And a lot of the big projects that we see today started with the efforts of one or two people, and then they grew. So you can get creative really a lot with coding, and that's one of the things that makes software development really interesting. The other thing is that there's a lot of flexibility in the way you work. You can work project-based work structure. You can have a lot of interaction with teamworks as well. This is one of the stuff that makes software development really an interesting field as well. And the last thing, it offers a lot of continuous learning opportunities. I think nobody knows everything about everything in software development. We're always learning, we're always developing. And this is something that always opens up new opportunities also to contribute. So you can learn and contribute as much as this field is developing. And these kind of the four stuff that makes software development really interesting. Exactly, again, it's never ending. And that means you have never ending opportunities as well to contribute and to work and to add up to this field as well. Not only learn, but also contribute. So this is, if you think about it, why should you become a software development? These are the kind of points that makes it interesting compared to other fields as well. So now let's talk a little bit about your journey to becoming a developer. What's it like? What are the main points that happen? So the first thing I would like to talk about is that your journey before you become a developer. What are the things that you need to keep in mind before you become a developer? Then we're going to talk about during your study to become a developer. What's it like to study? What you need to know, what you need to do. And then I'm going to talk about the career hunt. What's it like to find a job in this? How do you search for a job? What are the main stuff that you need to know and you need to do? And lastly, I'm going to discuss the career of a developer. How does it look like to work as a developer? what's the field like, what's the experience, the environment. And in this way, I hope I can cover all the stuff that is related to this journey. And yeah, so before you become a developer, I would say the first thing that kind of need when you think about switching your career or becoming a developer is determine the career path that you are interested in. Are you interested in front end? Are you interested in back end, data scientist? Kind of knowing a little bit what you want to have in your career path is very kind of essential, so you can plan out your next steps. If you don't know a lot of these fields, you can read a lot of resources online. There's a lot of articles that talk about it. Or you can even keep up with, like, even at Recoded, we hold a lot of workshop, like Introduction to Front End, for example, that was in the past and will be in the future, that kind of help you learn about the different career paths that you can choose. So determining the career path you're interested in is very essential step so you can keep going in this field. The next thing I would say is determine the transferable skills that you already have. What skills do you already know? Like teamwork or time management. So if you're coming from a field that has a lot of teamwork, interaction, for example, it means you already have this skill. You are already good at it. Knowing your weaknesses and strength is really important, so you can kind of enhance your weaknesses, and you are aware of the skills that you need that needs to be enhanced, and the skills that you already have and that you already are strong at it, and you can use it actually in this field when you start working or start studying in it. So it's important to be aware of the skills that you have. Yes, researching. Yes, researching is a very good skill as well as a transferable skills to be used in the software development. Googling, yeah, that's also a really essential skill that we need as software developer. I'm so happy to read your chat. It's so interesting as well to have this conversation going. Thank you very much for your contribution. So the third thing is choosing the best learning experience for you. So what kind of way you like to learn? For example, there is bootcamps. Bootcamps offer like kind of systematic learning journey, and you have the help of teachers and also mentors that can help you throughout the bootcamps. But there's also other option for you to start learning. There's a lot of online courses. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, that kind of help you to achieve your goal and becoming a developer. And at the same time, there's a lot of articles, a lot of tutorials. So after you determine the career path you want, you need to start thinking what is the best learning experiences for you. And yeah, Free Code Camp is a great example to start. It offers a lot of free stuff to be able to do it, or boot camps like the one Recoded is doing. And there's also like endless possibilities on online courses for you to start learning. I'm currently in Recoded front-end bootcamp, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, so during your study to become a developer, so what you need to do when you start your study, I would say set your plan and goal clear. So if you are in a bootcamp like the one that we're offering at front end or back end, for example, the plan is already kind of done by the teacher. So you have the milestones set and you have the goal clear at the end of how will you be a front end developer. But also if you're joining an online courses or you're doing your own kind of self-paced learning, it's also good for you to have your plan figured out, kind of put milestone in your calendar, have the set clear, maybe make a sticky note and put it on your laptop to remind yourself, to motivate yourself of having the goal at the end, because seeing your goal and trying to achieve it makes you really motivated, so you don't lose motivation. So also while you're studying, I would also like to highlight, keep learning and don't give up. So reflecting on the personal experiences, when I came to studying programming, coming from a field that has nothing to do with programming or software development, there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of moments like, okay, this is hard. If you think about it, anything new that we learn in life is always hard. If you go back to your childhood, you remember these math problems that we used to solve, or these geography and history stuff that we used to learn. Sometimes we would be faced with stuff that we say, this is too hard. But the actually is like, this is where our own mind's way of learning. When we are confused, when we are having something new, this is the time when we are learning. So don't give up, keep learning. when you hit that stage, if you might hit it at the beginning of your learning experience, you might hit it in the middle, just don't give up. Keep learning. And even if you're taking baby steps, believe me, these baby steps will be helping you a little bit by a little bit, and you will find yourself, you have learned this. So just keep learning and don't give up if you ever face any kind of this kind of confusion that happens. And the third thing would be learn by doing and developing projects. So sometimes, for example, you can watch, if you're in a bootcamp, you can watch the teacher do demos, you can read articles, or you can also, if you're studying on your own, watch YouTube videos or tutorial videos. Just watching things and just taking the material as it is, it's not enough. You have to code by hand. You have to learn by doing. This is very essential. So instead of just taking the information as it is, it's really good to develop your own projects. And sometimes you can watch a tutorial and even try to replicate the projects that have been done. But turn off the video and just replicate things. Learn by doing is one of the best ways when it comes to becoming a developer, because it's really a helpful skill for you to be able to, a helpful thing to do to learn the material much faster. And the fourth thing, this is one of the best things I love about becoming a developer, or like in the tech industry in general, is that you can always ask for help. So whenever you're stuck, just ask for help. They have a lot, this field has a lot of opportunity to ask. They even have like this Stack Overflow website where everybody just asks questions. There's a lot of dev communities. So always ask for help. And whenever you feel like you don't know the answer, you spend 5-10 minutes working on a problem, it's not being fixed, always go and ask. If you're in a bootcamp, you can ask your trainers. Online, as I said, you can go to many resources and ask these questions. Your time is valuable as well. So when you are studying, don't waste your time for a lot of time thinking about questions. Just ask for help. I think even in job interviews, like they might even look at your Stack Overflow profile, because they like to see people asking questions. There is no stupid question. You can ask whatever problem you're facing. Keeping that in mind can really boost your learning experience. And yeah, so this is really important, and always ask for any question you have. Take care of your mental and physical health. So I have a question in the chat. I think asking is not easy. It is difficult to exactly describe the issue. You're totally right, Khaled. It's not always easy to ask questions, but by practice, everything will become, even the ability to ask questions can be enhanced with time. You can start by small question, but keeping this mentality in mind, question after a question, you will know exactly how to put your hand. Especially when you are in an async environment, asking questions is a skill to be enhanced. So just don't be afraid to ask the question. You might even think that it's too hard, but if you just try it out, it also will be easy with time. And yeah, the point I was saying here, take care of your mental and physical health. So sometimes when you're sitting for a long time in front of the laptop, just studying programming or development, and you're just taking care, you can be taken in time, and you won't feel yourself moving, or you will see yourself just with a lot of pressure. So remember to take care of your mental and physical health. Just do some exercises, make sure to socialize. Don't just get involved in this field without like taking care of yourself, because it can be stressful to sit in front of the laptop for a long time. And this might happen at your learning journey to becoming a developer, and even after you become a developer. So always keep this in mind as well. Socialize, and remember to keep your physical health. Yeah, Muhammad Salah is saying asking by keywords, it will be easier to find the solution. That's also a valid way that can be really helpful. Thank you. Boost your soft skills. Another thing to take care of if you're studying is also thinking about your soft skills. So as we said before, you have in the previous step before you join, you looked at yourself, you know the transferable skills you have. Now it's also time to boost the skills that you have. And one of these skills that's important to boost is different soft skills that you can benefit in development fields. Like, for example, time management, stress management, any of these stuff even like all these skills that are beneficial for you to succeed. Communication also is a great soft skill that you need when you are communicating with other developers or with designers. So all these skills, there are a lot of resources that can be helpful in boosting up your soft skills. So keep this in mind, because you will need this to be successful at the end. Because just becoming a programming, if you're not able to have these soft skills, it's not enough. So put it in mind. And if you are in a bootcamp, actually, a lot of these stuff are actually covered throughout the bootcamp as well. And yeah, so then the career hunt. So now if you want to talk about the career hunt, what's it like trying to find a job? So now you've learned this, the stuff that you needed to learn, and it's time to find a job. One of the first things that you can focus on is building an online presence. LinkedIn, for example, is a great place to start. Having your LinkedIn profile, having posts on LinkedIn, being seen, people will recognize you. You can even write articles on Medium. That's also a great way to be recognized. Sometimes you can even write about your learning experience. You'll learn something new. You can also teach it to someone else by writing. These online presence that you have is very important. Even your GitHub profile. GitHub is a website that's used by programming developers, so they can have their code. But also you can look at other people's code, and if there's open issues, you can contribute. So having this online presence is very important when you are searching for a job in the tech industry, especially in the fields of programming, because it means you can be seen. So always make sure that you are focusing on this step. And the second thing is prepare for interviews and check for free online resources. There are a lot of resources like HackerRank, for example. It's a website where you can kind of look about exercises that's related to coding, or even do a little bit of interviews. If you're in a bootcamp, there's a lot of career phase where they help you in this interview phase. This is really important. A lot of the online resources, if you just Google like how to prepare for a programming interview, you will find some specific questions that might be anticipated. For example, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a question to be anticipated in an interview. Preparing for the interview is very essential, because it will boost up your confidence while you are doing the interviews or while you're applying for a job. You can even ask a friend to help out. You can Google online what are the main questions that it is, and just ask your friend to help you out in this kind of act as if they are the interviewer, and just help out if you want to do it, or just to practice. Also doing a lot of these programming challenges as well. If you are applying for a programming job, for example, some small front-end kind of JavaScript quizzes, or any programming languages that you do that might be anticipated. Yeah, another example, lead code is being on the chat. Algorithm problems as well. All of these stuff will really help you in preparing for the interview, and kind of feel a lot of confidence when you are doing the interview. So this is an important step. Study for the job search with online courses. As I said, there are a lot of online courses that even help you with this career hunt. So it's always, I think we have in the chat a lot of examples that you can check also, like Code Wars, yeah. I see some questions in the chat. I will make sure to go back to them as well. So the fourth step is prepare your resume and portfolio. That's, of course, you probably already know this, but I'm also highlighting again, your resume and portfolio is the way that you be seen. So make sure to put some efforts on them. Make sure that your resume is organized, and you can even put your past experiences as well, and having your portfolio, your GitHub profile as well. These stuff, taking care of this is also an essential step when you are starting your career hunt. Apply for a suitable job and keep developing yourself. So always check the websites like LinkedIn, for example. You can go there and find a suitable job for you. Remember to keep, for example, if you're an entry level, try to search for a job that is suitable. Don't just go apply for jobs that have 10 years of experience. Applies only for the one that is suitable, and always keep developing yourself. Even if you just if you don't, for example, find a job right away, that's totally fine. But during this time, what are you doing? I'm developing myself, learning something new. I know it can be stressful. It took, after I graduated from my bootcamp, it also took me like around 5 months or 6 months to start working. And during that time, it is hard. Sometimes you feel like you want to work, but the important thing is to have some things while you're waiting to find a job, to have some things on your resume. I'm studying. You can study another programming language or focus on another kind of API or library to learn. So keep this development of yourself, always have it in mind. And after you find your job, you will start working as a developer. So what's it like to work as a developer? It's a continuous learning journey. We said this at the beginning, and I'm highlighting again. You're always learning, you're always developing, and that's one of the great things of becoming a developer. It's always challenging. And this continuous learning makes you feel that you are developing all the time. You're not sitting still in your place. You are really developing all the time, and you can feel it day by day because you are doing problem solving, as we said at the beginning, and this problem solving that you're doing is very rewarding feeling. You have a problem and you're solving every day, and that feeling that you have a challenge and you fixed it is really, really good, because you feel like, I know it might be available in other fields, but as I said, you can feel it more frequently in the development field, because you get kind of experienced with it every day. So that's one of the great things of working as a developer. Another thing is that you can shift your career or boost your career. So I know for some people, maybe the choice would be shifting your career completely if you're not satisfied with your field. But on the other hand, this doesn't mean that you have to completely lose your career. But on the other hand, you can even boost up your career. A lot of the fields of today have digitalized and they have tech integrated with them, like AI, machine learning, and a lot of this stuff. And we see like it's in our daily life everywhere. So don't always think about it as shifting, but think about it as boosting up your career. So that's a great way of also working as a developer. At the end, you can have a better career without also losing your past experiences. Competitive salaries and good work environment, that's also one of the advantages of working in becoming a developer and working as a developer. It might have an online job, for example, you're working from your home, and at the same time, a lot of the companies take care of the mental health of the people. So in general, it's a really good a way of working as a developer. Mohammed's talking about freelancing. Yes, freelancing is also one of the ways that a developer can benefit from, is because there's a lot of opportunity to work on project-based kind of work, and then without long-term commitment. So this might be suitable for a lot of people as well. You can learn more programming languages even faster. For example, what I mean by this, you can start with a front-end bootcamp, for example, learn JavaScript, and then you think, okay, but I want to learn something related to machine learning or AI, and I want to kind of go into Python or into another low-level programming language, something harder. You have already gotten the logic. So moving to another programming language or kind of learning more, it becomes so much easier than starting from scratch. So once you enter this industry, you feel like you have a lot of opportunities to learn more about it, and you already got the main concept. So this is really useful, because you feel like you are learning much more faster after you become a developer. You can develop and learning a lot of more programming languages as well. And also it offers a lot of teamwork and collaboration. So in a lot of time, you might be talking, if you are front end, for example, you might be talking with designers, you might be talking with people from different fields. So that's also very something nice in the developer kind of career, and you're interacting with other people. And I know it might be harder in an online environment as well, but also at the same time, there's a lot of activities that you can do online as team. You can have virtual events, you can connect and communicate. So that's really good in the developer field. So in short, we can say that software development is a really broad field. It is very creative, demanding, and rewarding. A career as a developer opens up a lot of doors and opportunities to join the thriving tech industry, but it still requires a lot of determination, commitment, and hard work. So this is like what I had planned for today. I hope this was useful for you.